Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Brian Howard. 20 years ago, I began my real estate career with Century 21, then Keller Williams, then a couple of small brokerages. And then after 15 years of being with REMAX, I made the big decision to move to EXP Realty. Things have never been better. This is a short podcast on why many, just like me, think this model is the future and why you may wish to be part of it. Please enjoy today's podcast.
Hey folks, well, I am excited. We have Ben Sweet on the phone here today on our Zoom call. Ben, thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm excited to be here too, Brian.
I'm excited. Ben, you and I have known each other for many years. I'm thinking more than 10 and maybe less than 15, but probably at least 13, I think. And you have always been very generous, not only to me, but I think to many others, in your sharing of information, you're wanting to share of your business and like how to be better a lot of these years. Tell me a little bit about your business, where you've come from, and what's your production like? What's life like with you and your family right now?
Okay. So when you say production, you mean like share my actual numbers? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like you're having your best year ever. You've recently joined EXP. You're coming from REMAX. Tell me a little bit about our history together and tell us a little bit about, your place in this business right now.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. I'll do my best to keep it kind of brief. So I've been doing this for 19 years as of next month. May 4th or 6th, one of the two, is going to be 19 years. And I started out with a small company, just basically a local company here called Maxwell. I was with them for about 3 years, and then I moved over to REMAX. I was at one REMAX office, was in a partnership there. I was at that one for about 5 years, and then moved over to another REMAX. I think that's where you and I met. That other REMAX, we had been there. I was there for, I think, 11 years. Loved REMAX, was really happy to be with REMAX, never had any issues. And then I left that REMAX, went to another one because they're just a number of different reasons, but it was a much more affordable REMAX. So I just decided, hey, why spend the extra few $1,000s a year? And then shortly after being there, I decided, after talking with you a couple of times, that EXP seemed to make a ton of sense. And I know when you initially reached out to me, I was like, no interest. Don't even talk to me about that. I remember basically saying, like, don't even talk to me about that. I have no interest. And then I started doing a little bit more research, that things just kind of kept coming across my plate. And I was like, oh, I never looked at it that way. I never looked at it that way. Okay, yep. But I think the biggest reason for me, and I know this is not all about EXP, but the biggest reason I quickly moved, because I moved within 7 days once I did a little bit of a deep dive. Yeah, it was really quick. The biggest reason was because the brokerage model is changing, period. So a lot of the existing companies out there that have been ruling the roost for many decades, they're about to be unseated. And I know for certain that EXP is going to be at the top of the pile within like 2 years. So if you're with one of the REMAX or Keller Williams or Coldwell Banker, any of these other larger companies, the brokerage model has changed. You get more with EXP. You get more with these cloud models. And there's not a lot of cloud models out there. Anyway, so for me, that's the short answer as to why I moved, is because I always want to be with the biggest company. And there is no question, based on EXP's current growth, that they will be the biggest in a very short time frame. So when I speak with agents in my marketplace, they're like, you moved to EXP? Why did you do that? Because it's small here still. It's very small here. Like, I think in Calgary, maybe we're approaching 300 agents.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe with REMAX. REMAX is the big brand here. I know it's different in every area. But anyway, so I've got agents that call me all the time. They're like, why did you move? And I'm like, when you sit down and actually look at the math, and when you look at where the brokerage model is going, not where it's been, not where it is, but where it's going in a really short time frame, if you want to be associated with the largest brand, that is going to be EXP, period. End of conversation.
Fantastic. I started to think about EXP more than 2 years ago and joined just over, I think, 60 or 70 days ago. And you were like shortly after that, right away. And I remember you changing like REMAX offices about a year ago. And I'm like, why are you moving from one REMAX office to another? Like, you should look at EXP. Do you remember that discussion?
I do. Yeah. And I just said, no.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Yeah. So Ben, you're having your best year ever, 2021, by a lot, I think. And your numbers are big, your lifestyle's cool. I mean, we're all working a little bit extra right now in this great market. I'm identifying a lot of success in there. And have you always had that success, or what's leading to that? Is it all EXP? What's leading to some of that success you're experiencing this first quarter of 2021?
Yeah. So again, I've only been with EXP maybe just over a month. I think we're probably March 1st, so almost 2 months here, just less than 2 months. And I can't attribute EXP to any of my success at this point, like at all. I'll be honest with you, I have not even logged in and created all my profiles and done all the things that I've needed to do, because the volume of our deal flow right now has been way, way beyond anything I've ever experienced before. So I'll share with you some real numbers. So I am a team lead. I have 2 other agents that work with me, and we have 2 virtual assistants. And then I also have kind of a personal assistant that's been working part-time with us lately as well. A godsend, honestly, getting other people to help you to do the lower, I don't want to say lower priority, but the lower cost things is super important. So anyway, last year we did 70 deals, and I generally don't count ends. I know agents are always like, how many ends do you do? And I'm like, I count dollars. I just don't really count, because I would rather focus on having a higher average commission and doing less deals and making the same amount of money, right? Less work, more money. Like what a great equation. So last year, my numbers, I think net to me was about 345, with 2 agents contributing based on me giving business to them and them sharing a portion of their commissions with me. And then I handle the majority of the expenses and that kind of thing. And then year before, I think it was about 365, 360, 355, like very, very close, on par. However, last year we had a lot of Passover into this year. So that was really good. This year so far, I think personal numbers to me, I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but it's January, February, March, April, 4 months, including Passover from last year, but I'm already at about 425. So the numbers,
that is great.
Phenomenal. Now I'll be honest with you, I've never done so much business personally in such a short time frame. I also lost 2 agents and brought 2 new agents on. So there's been a whole lot of additional change. Pretty much all of that math, all of those numbers, primarily, I would say 85% of it is all me. So I've never produced this much business before myself, let alone in such a short time frame. My wife's like, when do I get to see you? I'm like, 2-3 months, maybe something like that. So anyway, things have kind of slowed down a little bit, which has kind of been nice. I'm tired. I find myself wanting to sleep a lot more, which is, you got to listen to yourself, right? Like when you're really tired and you need it, you got to do that. So I never, ever, ever let myself get burnt out. It's not something that happens for me. I think that I look at it this way: instead of getting to like a burnout point, I let that activity push my burnout level up. So I let it expand my capacity instead, which has been phenomenal, because it's let me be even more efficient and lean on my support staff, which has permitted me to do a lot more business, as opposed to I would just do these other things myself. Now I'm just on the go. I'm like, do this. Thank you, goodbye. And then on with it. So it saved me a ton of time this year as well. So that's been a major thing that's allowed me to do more business, but the business has just been there. Like, it's not like we've done all kinds of extra stuff, but I'll be fully honest and say that I think that the accumulation or the business that we've done this year and everything that came from last year was really just accumulation of all of the things that I've been working on.
Exactly.
For the past
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember sitting down with you and having lunch. I think it'd be at least 10 years ago, probably more. And you tell me the systems that you were working on, and the way you and I have operated our businesses so differently, and what you were working on way back then. I think you're really feeling the benefits of that. Planting the seed, planting the oak tree, the foundation, putting the systems in place, and having things run themselves. It's just amazing and inspiring to see so well. And so a little bit about the switch. I mean, less than 2 months ago, you switched in one of our busiest markets since about 2014. So in 7 years, been kind of bad since then. And all of a sudden it's like incredible and busy for the first time. How is the switch from EXP from the time you said, I'm thinking about this, to doing it was about 7 days. Yeah. And here you're having your best, was there much chaos in that transition for you?
Tremendous. Yeah. Like really long days, like 12 to 16-hour days were the norm for a good solid 2 to 3 weeks. Like our deal volume was so high, we're moving brokerages, plus a rebrand, plus new agents. Like, it just took on a lot all at once. And the other part was when I looked at it, I was like, it doesn't make sense for me to stay at Remax a day longer. I saw the math, and that's why I was okay. I'm going to lose some sleep in the next couple of weeks, but it's worth it. I just got to get this done. So, just kind of want to revisit one of the things you asked me. What was the history like? Have you always been successful? No, like not at all. In fact, I was a very average agent for a really, really long time. And so my first 6 months, I did like 40,000. And then my next calendar year, I did like 80. And then I was consistently performing between 120 and 140, which honestly, if you're an agent, you're doing less than 120 to 140, you're not living like much of a life. Like there's a whole lot more packed into what you could be doing, and you're really not tapping into it. And so for me, I also kind of knew that was the case, but it was shocking the things that I wasted my time on, and I would get worked up over the wrong things and just blowing energy all over the place, essentially. Energy that could be used for building my business and growing my business and systematizing and doing all the right things that I should be doing. A perfect example would be for you, like you've always had a very prospecting based business. And for me, I spent a lot of time I wasted a lot of time trying different things, working on different things. But did I really waste that time? Well, it depends on how you look at it. Like if you look at it from
not at all. Not at all.
Systems, yeah. If you look at it from a system standpoint, I don't feel I did, because I was always trying it and testing different things. And if you look at it from a prospecting standpoint, I did waste a lot of time, because I could have been also making my 10 to 30 phone calls per day that would have given me way more volume of business. But it's not just as simple as saying I could have done that or I should have done that, because I just didn't have the headspace or the mindset or the belief in myself to be able to just pick up the phone and do that. I just didn't. But I always had the vision of a systems-based business that could be more automated and that would be not reliant upon my prospecting. And that was for me, I was like, well, that's where scalability comes from. I can't go from 25 phone calls a day closing that business, and then to scale, you're going to do 50 phone calls, 75, 100. Like it just, the math quickly breaks down. So for me, I was like, I want other agents closing business for me. I want to give them business. I can coach them. I can do all the things for them. And then I want our assistants that are going to support us so that we can all do more business. There's lots of different team models out there that don't provide support. They're basically just like, here's your leads. They're cold, go grind them, do what you can. It's like, so there's got to be training. There has to be admin support. There has to be all of that. So for me, my big thing has always been about capacity. It's like, hey, look, if I give you 100 leads a month, can you handle them? It's like, well, sure you can for the first month, second month. By the time you get to the third month, you can't handle that. So do we crank back that volume, or do we find other ways to make that stuff compete or convert so that you're able to do more and able to handle more? And that's more of the way I look at it. Can it be systematized? Can it be delegated? Can it be automated? And is it scalable, right? So one of the things I always talk about with my agents is focus on your capacity. Like I've got some agents that are like, oh, well, I'm just going to do this myself. I'm like, don't. Let me pay the assistant to do this for you so you can spend more time doing stuff that actually puts money in your bank, because this isn't going to do that. Let's pay a delivery person to drop off these things, as opposed to you walking around and just dropping them off anyway. Hey, if you're knocking on doors of your clients and giving them a gift, that's different. But if you're just delivering stuff, no, we're going to pay for a delivery person. I'll pay for that. Anyway, awesome. So I was 120 to 140 for the longest time, Brian. Then finally one time I was like, this is enough. Like I have way more balls in my cannon. I've got way more ability to do a lot more. I need to just figure out why. So I kind of went to work upstairs and really dug into the reasons as to why I wasn't doing a lot of business. And the fear was the big number one thing. And it is for all of us, whether we're aware of it or not. I can blanketly say that. And because of the people I've helped in and out of real estate, and because of what I've done for myself. And so when you remove the fear, then you just feel more compelled towards your goals. You just naturally end up achieving your goals more easily, because you're not all fettered and twisted up inside with these heavy emotions. So that's the short answer. So I quickly went from 120 to 140 forever. Like I was there a long time, bouncing around. And then I jumped up to just over 200. And then it was 280. then I was 340, then I was, and now all of a sudden I'm going through that another big jump right now.
Big jump, sounds like. That's great.
It's really good. So I think this year will probably, my focus is, and honestly, I was like, well, if we break 500, that's fantastic, because I've been reaching for that goal for a long time.
Yeah.
But now the number is like, I bumped it up substantially. I'm going for a much bigger number this year. So
that's awesome. You've been just like a couple of months into EXP, not even, I mean, more like a month and a bit. And you haven't really tied into the platform, but you seem excited by it. On that note, why are you excited by it? What are you looking forward to doing with it, say in the next 12 months? And along that line, Ben, what's easy for you these days?
What's easy? Honestly, the lead flow and the deal flow has been easy. And I'll be honest and tell you that I've spent a lot of time working on my mindset and my belief set, so much so that could be easy. Whereas that was never the easy thing before. I was always trying to get more leads, trying to get more business, trying to do more deals. But I'll be honest with you, as much as I say that, I had a lot of inner conflicts around doing a lot more business, around handling more business, around, if I get too busy, my clients are going to get pissed off with me, and then that's going to be horrible, and I don't want them to get up. It's okay if they get upset. I'm a pro, I'm an adult, I can deal with it. I can also buy them a bottle of wine and say, I'm so sorry, I've just been tremendously busy right now. You are important to me, but here's a bottle of wine. I completely screwed up. We dropped the ball, and hope you're okay with that. Onward and upward. Like, it doesn't need to be a big thing, right? Whereas years ago, I would have been like, don't give me all this business, because I'll just screw it up and I won't be able to deal with what happens when it gets screwed up, right? All the fears, that stuff wiped out of the way, all of a sudden the deals can just come. They can just flow a lot more easily. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Being professional, showing up, being professional, and taking accountability and ownership and dealing with it.
Exactly.
Good for you.
And one of the greatest phrases I ever heard was just always be the adult in the room. So be the person that just takes the high road and takes the knocks on the chin if you need to, but just be the adult. Like, it's okay. Like, you're going to be fine. You're still going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to go to work and life's going to be fine.
In the next 12 months, how do you see, like, when do you expect to fully adopt and be part of EXP versus once this chaos and the spring market maybe slows down? What do you see happening with your direction and relating it to this new model that we've both chosen?
Yeah.
What do you see your vision on that kind of?
A couple things. One is I see it as kind of almost like three different pieces of business. So there's my team, right? There's me and my team, and then there's my own personal production, and then there's the rev share side of things, which is recruiting, attracting, coaching other clients, bringing them on board onto EXP. So my focus is going to shift away from personal production and a bit more towards this. With the personal production, I plan on just giving more of that to my agents, which will keep them busy. I also want to continue to grow my team. I'm a big tester. Like, I'm always trying and testing in different things and spending money and time and energy and effort into different things. But the focus is to grow this out a little bit more. I'd like to get this up to a handful of really, really good agents that are all happy to be in the organization doing their thing. And then I want to move over a little bit more towards the rev share and then just kind of shrink the personal production. So going from 3 to 2 is really kind of where I see things happening. And I like to think I'm at the place where I can just give them the business and replace my income right here, but I don't feel that I'm there yet. So I need to continue to still focus on a few different lead sources, build those out so that the team can be built out, so that I can focus a little bit more here. That's kind of what I see happening in the next 12 months.
Ben, you and I have been collaborating and masterminding and exchanging ideas for years. I appreciate you. You've been a great friend and colleague in this business. What's the best way for people to want to reach out to you, maybe to learn more about your vision, your system, your models? What's the best way for people to connect?
Perfect. Email. I prefer email for sure. It's definitely the easiest way these days. And you can just send me an email if you'd like to. It's a real simple Gmail address. So just all Calgary listings at gmail.com. So ALL Calgary, CALGARY listings, LISTINGS at gmail.com. Did I spell that right? I hope I did. Anyway, all Calgary.
I think you did. Very good. Is there anything else you want to leave our listeners with? If you had one ask for the listeners or the audience, what would it be?
You got way more in you. You're leading.
Way more in you.
all day, every day. There's better ways to do things. There's ways to be more efficient. There's ways to make way more money, and you can work a lot less and make more money. We're the only ones that kind of stop that. So, yeah.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
You got way more in you. Good for you, Ben. Thanks so much for being on the show, buddy.
Thanks, Brian. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll ride soon. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you for listening today. For more information on EXP Realty and to learn how to align with myself, Brian Howard at EXP Realty, visit partnerwithhoward.com. That's partner, PARTNER, with WITH, Howard, HOWARD.com. Thanks for listening.